morning, my friends. Happy Tuesday. And yes, the sun is shining brightly in San Diego today. That's very nice. Okay, so I am Andrea Kuchin, and this is my home biz tips. Here we go, Andrea Kuchin. If you have any questions at all, reach out to me, Andrea at My Home Biz Tips, or call me, text me, 858-252-1190. So that's the introductory start. Now, today is going to be very interesting because I'm going to teach you a little trick, a little hack, a little really simple thing that you can do. So simple that a lot of you hearing it are going to say, I don't believe it. I don't believe that's going to make the slightest bit of difference. But I promise you it will. Now, if you're feeling the winter blues, you know, Christmas is over, the sun is not shining in a lot of places. It's that sort of January, you thought you were going to get going on your goals, and now we're nearly a month in, and it's hard work, and it's a bit of a struggle, and bleh, you're feeling like that. Or if you're watching this in the middle of the summer, and the same thing applies. Or if you're finding yourself unmotivated somehow, your energy level is low, you're not excited about your business or your life, then this is going to change all of that. There's a lot of background information into why this works and how it works and how else you can apply it, but I'm not going to make this complicated. I'm going to make it really, really simple. And there are lots of different ways of doing it, but all the steps are important for what I'm going to teach you today. And things have different names. Different people refer to things with different names. I'm going to use several. Find the name that you like and run with it. Okay, so the reason you feel unmotivated and uncomfortable and uninspired in life is mostly because of broken agreements. What? Yeah, seriously. It's about things like you said you were going to do everything in your power to lose 20 pounds this year, and it's the end of January and you haven't done anything yet. Or you said you were going to go to bed at 10 o'clock every night. Or you said you were going to give up drinking. Or you were going to give up coffee. Or you were going to start drinking bulletproof coffee. Or you were going to go for a longer walk every day. Or whatever it is, whether you told yourself or whether you told somebody else, or whether you posted it in a Facebook group or something, it's broken agreements that cause you to feel uncomfortable in your own skin, and that affects everything you do. Now, think about how you would feel if the agreement were made with somebody else. If somebody else had said to you, I'm going to take you for a walk every day, or I'm going to cook you a really healthy meal every day, whatever it is. I'm going to bring you a new client every week, whatever it is. If somebody else had said to you, that is what I'm going to do, and then you were watching them and they were making no attempt to do what they'd said, none whatsoever. And they didn't even look as though they could remember having said it. How would that make you feel towards that person? Well, most of you were probably really nice, a lot nicer than me, but it would make me lose trust. It would make me lose respect even for that person, and they'd have to work pretty hard to get it back. That is the same situation that you have with yourself. I know it sounds like I'm preaching here or lecturing. I'm the same. I am exactly the same. This is how I know. This is how come I know these things that I teach you work, because I've had to use them myself. And I am using them. And some of them I'm using every day. And I slip up. Oh gosh, yes, do I slip up. But at least I know what to do, how to get myself back on track. And that's the really important thing. So if there is anything you said you would do, any agreement you made of any kind with yourself or anybody else, do it. It'll change. You will not believe how much it can change things. So here are the steps. Get a piece of paper, preferably a piece of paper. I know that in the electronic age, it's so much easier to do that. But I would recommend, because we're trying to stimulate memory and all sorts of different things, I would use a piece of paper because you've got the tactileness, the pen, the visual, as well as the hearing. So I would do it that way. You don't have to. You can talk it into your phone, but write down every last single thing that you remember and make a habit of doing this at least on a weekly basis. Go through your mind. I call it a mind sweep because we're sweeping out the mind, because sometimes things get stuck in corners and cobwebs grow over them, and we're sweeping everything up into a nice pile in the middle so we can confront everything, we can sort through it, put it in the different compartments it goes. So for me, it's a mind sweep. Some people call it a brain dump. It dumps everything that's in your brain. Now, I don't think thoughts are in your brain. I think your brain's a lump of meat that operates the body. I don't think my mind is in my brain. But if that's where you think your mind is, good, call it a brain dump. The point is, all the thoughts that you have about things that you said you were going to do, all the memories of those conversations, whether they were with you, your kids, your spouses, your clients, your best friends, your parents, your pets, it doesn't matter. Yourself. It doesn't matter who the agreement was with. It doesn't matter if you don't want to call it an agreement. That's okay. Thought, idea, whatever it is, write it down on a piece of paper or write them all down on individual sticky notes. You can get those little pads of little square ones that are about 1.5 inches or maybe 2 inches big. Those little baby ones in lots of different colors. Write them all down. Write them down randomly. The point is, get everything out. Everything. Write it all down. No matter how insignificant, no matter how silly, no matter how unimportant or how easily you think you'll remember it in 3 days' time. Doesn't matter. Write it all down. And then sort it. Now, obviously, this is easier if you've put it on sticky notes than it is if you've got it on a list. But the beauty of doing it on a list is that you're then going to have to rewrite it, which helps tremendously with memory, remembering things. And this is about control. This is about controlling your time and your tasks and fitting them together. So if you can help yourself remember them a little bit by writing them down more often, that's not a bad thing. Okay, if you've put them on a list electronically somehow, rearrange them, put them in groups, okay? And let's look at the ones that hurt you the most. Yes, the ones that where you say whatever it is, you read it to yourself, you read it out loud to yourself, and you can actually feel a physical response. Ooh, ouch, should have done that. Ooh, should have done that. And group them by place that you need to be to do them. Okay? So if they're things that you need to do, clearing out your kitchen, put all the ones that relate to the kitchen in that pile, right? If they're to do with being at your desk, put all the ones that relate to being at your desk on that pile, right? If it's to do with a pile of things that need to be sewn or stitched, put all those things together, right? If it's to do with communicating with a particular client, put all the things that relate to that one client in one place so you can handle them together efficiently, okay? Because that'll make your life much easier. So sort them into groups that make sense. And from a productivity point of view, the best way of doing that is where you will be and what tools you will need in order to get that particular thing done. Okay, so group them together. You'll need your computer for this. You'll need the internet for that. You'll need a pen and paper for this. You'll need a stamp for that. Whatever it is, the tools that you need, categorize them that way. It makes it much more efficient. And then start doing them. Seriously, start doing them. And if you can start with the most challenging and painful one, I recommend you do that. And work your way through the list until they're done. Now, some of these are going to be really old, and some of these are going to be really embarrassing. For example, if you have a rule that you always send a note to say thank you for Christmas presents or birthday presents or something, and Auntie June sent you a Christmas present, and when you were thinking about saying thank you for it, you remembered that you hadn't actually thanked her for your birthday present last year either, and now it's really embarrassing and you don't want to confront it at all. Do that one first, because that one's hurting you the most. Get a greeting card, a pretty one, or a photo of something that she'll like. If you don't have a system which will make it easier for you to do that, reach out to me, send me a little email. Here you go, Andrea at My Home Biz Tips. Or text me, and I will send you a link to an online system that will allow you to create a greeting card for free. And send that off saying, I am sorry. I am really sorry. I've got this thing in place where, I like to get thank you notes sent, and I didn't send one for my birthday. And then Christmas came, and now I feel really badly about it. And I am so sorry. Let me tell you how much I appreciated what you sent. Here's a picture of me with it, or whatever it is. I really appreciate and value, and it does matter to me that you're thinking of me. I hope you'll forgive this note being so late, but I thought it would be better late than never. Speak from the heart. You will be amazed at the difference that will make. In fact, if there's anybody that you should be reaching out to on a more intimate level than just sending an email because you feel you owe them an apology, send a greeting card. You can do it from the website as well. You can go to myhomebiz.tips and look for Happy Mail. You can send a card there. Okay, but do that. Please do that, because two things will happen. One, Auntie June, or whoever it was, will be delighted that you sent a card. I promise you. It will get there. Doesn't matter where it is in the world. It will arrive. It will be a proper paper card. And if you put pictures of yourself, your family, your pets, the person you're writing to, they'll keep that card forever. And you can use all of it. You can put something on the back as well, a nice picture on the back, or your signature on the back or something. So you can do that on the website. So that's the first step. Excuse me. I've got something stuck in my throat. Here we go. I love my teacup. This was given to me by a neighbour for the holidays, for Christmas. Absolutely love it. Best tea mug ever. Nice and big. Okay. So that is your biggest task. the one that hurts you the most, and you actually get a physical response to it when you think about, oh, I haven't done it, ouch. Then go through the others. And as you go through them, check them off. As you go through them, acknowledge the fact that you have done them. And I know that before you start, it seems like the biggest thing ever. It seems awful. And you are probably going to find hundreds of excuses as to why you shouldn't do them. But let me tell you something. It's only going to get worse. Honestly, it's only going to get worse, because this feeling of things that haven't been finished, things that weren't done, things you agreed to do and didn't do, things that you started and didn't finish, these leave little holes in you that need to be closed up. It's like leaving a book open too long, and then when you try to close it, it doesn't close properly anymore. You don't want that. You want everything to be smooth and flat and calm, because then you open your imagination to lots and lots of new things. Otherwise, it's like you're trying to hang on to all these little bits and pieces so that you can remember to get them done at some point. You're not doing them because you're finding excuses. So your imagination is going on finding excuses why you can't do them, which makes you feel worse. It's a vicious circle. Vicious being a really good word in this context. Vicious circle. It is vicious. It hurts you. Stop it, please. Okay, so write down all those little incomplete things that you haven't finished off. All those little things you said you'd do that you've forgotten about. And do them. And do the big ones that hurt you the most first, because they will give you the most relief. Yes, they will. They'll be the ones you'll go, I feel so much better now. And you know what? And this is a strange thing, and I've talked to other people about this. When you tackle those things that seem so horrible and so huge and so vicious, you look back and you think, that wasn't quite as difficult as I was expecting it to be. That didn't hurt as much now. And now I can think about Aunt June and be happy and use the gift that she sent and enjoy it rather than feeling guilty because I haven't thanked her. So dig out all those things. If you need to send a greeting card, please let me help you. It's my pleasure to let you send a free greeting card, to make something better, to make somebody happier, to lighten the load for yourself. So that's how you get rid of the winter blues, and that's how you shift stagnation. So at any point in the year, winter or summer, spring or autumn, when things aren't flowing, when you're stuck, it's because of those little niggly things that you didn't complete, or those agreements you made with somebody about something you were going to do that hasn't been finished or done or completed, and you feel badly about it. Write them down. Get into the habit of writing them down every week. You'll soon clear the backlog. You'll go through the backlog really fast. Not an issue. Honestly, the backlog will be cleared up in, no time at all. The next 2 or 3 days, it'll all be handled. And then you'll feel better. And the more you do this, the easier you'll find it to actually get things done there and then. Because you'll learn, just like mice do with electric shock treatment, you'll learn that you can avoid the pain by doing the thing in the first place. So you won't be late sending a note or a card to say thank you for your birthday gift this year, because you'll know how uncomfortable it is when you forget or when you put it aside, which I think is what happens more often. It's actually putting it aside rather than forgetting it. And the times that you think of it, it's then really inconvenient because it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're actually supposed to be asleep. Something like that. So write everything down and go through it. It's that simple. And I know you're sitting there thinking, well, if it's that simple and that easy, it probably isn't very effective. That, my friend, is where you are wrong. Please trust me on this. You'll see, you will see, you will be amazed at how easy it is to do these things once you get going. And once you get going, you'll be on a roll because it'll give you a good feeling and you'll want more of that good feeling. And moving forward, your imagination will be there, inspiring you much more. Instead of trying to come up with excuses as to why you didn't do things, it's going to be doing them for you so that your whole world opens up. And then you'll find things slot into place and things coincidentally just happen to work out. If you don't believe me, try it. Try it and see, and let me know. Write to me and say, Andrea, I tried that. I did it for 3 weeks. It didn't make the slightest bit of difference. I want to know, because if I'm teaching you something that's not working, I want to know how to make it work. I want to know how to improve it. So send me your feedback. Email me, text me, or give me a call. I don't bite. Let me know. Seriously. All right. What did I say? Write everything down, sort it into manageable chunks of equipment, tools, location, time, however it is that it works best for you. Do the worst things first because you'll get the biggest bang for your buck if you do it that way. And let me know how it goes. And I hope that next week your inspiration has returned, the stagnation has lifted, and you're suddenly coming up with all sorts of fantastic ideas as to how to break through the barriers and make 2022 a massive success. Because I do know for sure, because I'm connected to a lot of really successful people and I'm getting there myself, I do know for sure that the strategies they employ are not difficult or complicated. Most of them are really, really simple. They just need to be done. So there you are. If you're stuck, if you want an accountability partner to bounce this off, if you don't know where to start, if you feel silly writing things down, you don't know how to organize them, any of those things, you just want a little bit of a gentle shove, a little bit of, I don't know, support, guidance, a shoulder to cry on, whatever it is, I'm here. Oops, there you go. Calendly.com, Andrea Kuchin. Book a time with me. We can talk on Zoom and I can help you through it. No pressure, no nothing, no sales call. Very simple, very clear. I just want to give you a little bit of a prod and move you on, okay? Maybe I know some tips that you don't know. And that, my friends, is today's Tuesday tip. Now, enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you do. And I will see you here again next week at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Bright and cheery. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.